Wyduck here, welcoming you to a replay of the finals of the recently completed Asus Republic of Gamers Summer 2013. And on Neoplanet S, we have on the bottom left spawning as the blue Protoss, Azubu's San. On the top right, spawning as the red Terran, we have Team Liquid's Taeja. And coming into this tournament, Taeja is actually the defending champion as he won in 2012. So he's trying to repeat his success from the year before and try to take home the silverware. And if you take a look at his name through the entire tournament, he had Sanfan in there. And what a surprise in the final. It's him versus San. So that is very peculiar, but it is pretty neat. I don't think they could have fixed the matches. I don't think that all of San's opponents immediately forfeited just because Taeja had Sanfan in his name. Maybe Taeja next time, the next tournament he enters into, he should just put down Taeja fan, and then he'll be able to make it all the way to the final and be able to defeat himself. I don't think that's going to occur, but hey, it worked this time, so why not try it again next time? Now, Taeja is a much more renowned player, as in 2012 he won quite a few major championships. San, on the other hand, is not as well known, but he is a professional Korean gamer, so that is not something to doubt him at. He is a professional. He's only up with Gateway and a Simulator, so he's going to be going for something more aggressive. He's putting down the second pylon. And Taeja's going to go for the CC high ground. So he's going for 15 CC. Taeja has to be very careful here. Obviously, he hasn't scouted. He's just gambling on the fact that his opponent is not going to be doing any early aggression. And with the assimilator build, I'm not so sure. The cybernetics core is out. And with 3 probes on that assimilator, San wants to do something fast, and he wants to do it now. Taeja is building the barracks at his ramp, and is going to block it off with a double barracks. Interesting. I thought he might put down a supply depot, but he's going to go for the double barracks. San has a Zealot building or warping in. He may cancel it once the cybernetics core is done. He's scouting out his natural, finding out nothing's there. He sees Taeja's SCV, and he's going to pull back. The Zealot is going to... oh, no, he canceled it at the last second. And Taeja's going to get a full scout of San's base. He notices there's 3 probes on that assimilator. He doesn't know that San has the Nexus going up. He's assuming there might be some aggression, and the second assimilator is going to go down as well. The mothership core might be able to pick off this SCV. 2 more shots from the mothership core. He's not going to be able to do it though. So the SCV is able to scoot away with that 5 minerals. Look at that blue diamond. Look at that blue diamond. He's going to scoot away back to his base. He's going to tell his friends that, yeah, I got 5 minerals from my opponent's base. I'm the pro. Too bad it wasn't gold minerals, but he was able to get one from the middle, but that's not from his opponent's base. Taeja's going to land his second orbital at his natural, and he's building a 3rd command center. He still doesn't have a refinery up. While San is warping in a robotics facility. So nothing too different from both these players. They're both playing a more macro game. They're going to go into the mid game here pretty soon. Taeja is getting both refineries being built currently, and he's going to scout out with his Marines. And he's going to find the Stalker in the middle of the map and try to pick away at some of the damage. He wasn't able to do permanent damage. The Marines will just hang out at this ramp. And this is something to note on this map, on Neoplanet S. You have to be careful here at this ramp because this is actually high ground. So if you stand here on either side, units cannot see up. So this is a pretty good place to hide units. Stalker's still hanging out in the middle of the map. The Marines are going to go for a scout, maybe for looking for a proxy, looking for a hidden expansion. A second Stalker is going to join the forces. San is building 1 more gateway and 1 forge. And Taeja has his bunker ready at his natural. And he is researching STIM, and he is getting 1 engineering bay. Interesting. Both players are going only for 1 upgrade facility. And this is interesting because the Stalkers are going to get caught in between the base of Taeja and these pack of Marines. It's not able to do any damage though, so the Marines are probably just going to skedaddle back to base. As a factory is now being built and +1 weapons and +1 armor for the Protoss is being researched currently. And there's a money scan. Taeja is able to see everything. He's able to see the robotics facility. He's able to see the forge and the 2 gateways on the cybernetics core. And there's no actually any other buildings outside of that. So Taeja was basically able to see everything that's going on in Sand Space. And now he's going to go for a whole bunch of reactors on those barracks. Going to start pumping out those Marines. Stim is halfway done. Sand now has a Twilight Council warping in, as well as 1 more gateway. So this is interesting. Taeja is leaving all his Marines at his natural, but Taeja's scan came before the Twilight Council, so Taeja doesn't know what is going on. He doesn't know if he's going to be going more Colossus. The robotics facility might be pointing to Colossus, but there was no robotics bay. So here's the Twilight Council, and there we go, the Dark Shrine in the back of the base. Taeja has to be very careful. He's building a starport, and there's a whole bunch of observers in his base, detecting that he's going for a 3rd command center. There's no turrets up, and Terran players generally use their energy immediately. See, it was at 50 energy, and immediately he dropped down a mule from one of the orbitals. Generally, Terran players do not keep their energy stocked up unless they think something cloaked is going to occur. And currently, Taeja has no idea that that San is building a Dark Shrine. So if San is able to warp in a few Dark Templars, like from this top left proxy pylon, and go into the natural, maybe take one into the main, then he's going to be able to do a lot of damage, as there are no turrets. And now Taeja's moving out. And when Taeja's moving out, that means that he doesn't have a lot of units back home. And Dark Templars one-hit Marines, so they have to be very difficult. Gonna have to be very, very safe here. And the Observer is able to pick up on all the movements on this pack of Marines and Marauders. Another scan goes down, sees the Immortal. Only 1, doesn't see any Colossus, so I'm not sure what Taeja is thinking. Zealot charge is almost done as well. The Dark Shrine is completed. The Marine picks up on the proxy pylon, and the Dark Templars are going to come in here while Taeja is doing a counterattack at the natural. The Dark Templar is immediately detected with the scan, and he goes down. So the Dark Templar wasn't able to do very much. The Immortal goes down at the natural. That planetary cannon is going to focus down on those Marines, getting a few potshots off. There's that lone Marine corpse, unfortunately. And there's still 1 Dark Templar in the main, but he gets picked off. Wasn't able to focus down on the SCVs, but there's still 1 more Dark Templar. And I think Taeja can see him, knows he's there, but does he have enough energy to scan? He's waiting, he needs 5 more energy. This Dark Templar is going to be chopping away at his units. Dark Templar with 10 kills. Finally, he's picked off. So that Dark Templar did a lot of work. Was able to pick off quite a few units. And the resources loss actually still in favor of Taeja. So even with that Dark Templar picking up 10 kills, it still has Taeja ahead of San, which is interesting. Taeja's also getting his 3rd orbital up and was able to pick off that top left proxy pylon, while San is warping in his 3rd nexus. This low Marine's going to get picked off, unfortunately. Oh, he gets chopped in half. There's his torso. There's his gun. So unfortunate. You know, one of the things I always wondered about is why when a Marine dies, you know, the entire suit changes color. Like right now, Taeja's red, so that Marine is a red-colored Marine. But when he dies, he turns gray, including his suit. Just thought that it was always a little bit peculiar. Anyway, here's this battle at the 2nd base of San. San's going to force field off, but is not going to be able to cut off any units. Sort of a waste of a force field, and Taeja's units are just going to barrel into the expansion, pick off a few more zealots, and he's going to stim and kite away. And now he's going to load up in the 4 medevacs and dump off on the high ground. He's going to fire down on those zealots. The zealots are not ranged units, so that's a great strategy by Taeja. Taeja's focusing down the forge, researching 3rd level armor, but that's going to go down. And now Taeja says, oh, well, I've picked off enough stuff. I'm going to go home. You're not playing nice. One medevac gets picked off, but still was able to do quite a bit of damage. Picked off that forge, killed a bunch of zealots. Supplies are even, so Sand's going to walk out here. This force, Taeja has to be very careful here. This force is not big enough to deal with it. But when Sand moves out, now Taeja moves back into the second. He's going to drop off again. This is the second time in the last couple minutes he's been able to do this. Going to focus down fire on these zealots. There's one Dark Templar in here, and there's no scan going down. So a lot of Taeja's units are getting free slashes to the abdomen by that invisible blade. And the medevacs are just going to pick up and go, and they're going to come back in. Is he going to drop again? He's going to drop again. All the action is happening in Sand's main. Taeja hasn't reinforced his position yet. He is building more units at home. The Archons are finally going to scare this away again. While Sand is recollecting himself for a counterattack near his third. And Taeja is shuttling back with all the medevacs to his natural. The supplies are very similar. The upgrades are pretty similar. Taeja's almost got +2 attack. And that's going to even out the +2 armor of the Protoss. It's now complete. Protoss does not have an attack upgrade, though. So Taeja does have the upgrade advantage. He's 2-2 against O2. And there's going to be an engagement here near the third of Sand. A storm goes down. A second storm goes down. Able to pick off a Marauder. But with only 2 storms, it's not going to be able to do too much. That third storm was a money storm. Was able to hurt a lot of the Marines. The Marines are all in red and orange. Unfortunately, it looks like Sand needs a little bit more storm. Hey, Protoss players always need more storm, right? And 2 medevacs are going to come in here. Looks like this proxy pylon center mount is going to get picked off. Taeja's dropping off a force right outside of Sand's second. And it looks like he might be going in for a stealth attack here while leaving his main contingent at Sand's third. So he's splitting up his forces. He's going to focus down on the second nexus, on the natural nexus. Stims, the cannon goes down, but so does the nexus. And the third is now under heavy attack. The Archon Zealots are trying to do that, are trying to prevent this from going down. That storm actually hurt more of the Zealots. And the Marines and Marauders are chewing through all these Zealots. And there's a 30 supply difference. Taeja is destroying all the Immortals, even though he's losing a lot of units. Sand is losing much more, and I don't think Sand can recover. He's got a 60 supply deficit. His main is under attack by a Marine and Marauder. His third is under a constant barrage. The medevacs are healing up as best as they can, and now ghosts are coming in. I don't think Sand can do anything. Sand GG's. Taeja's able to take game 1. He was able to distract Sand with 2 attacks, 1 at the natural, 1 at the third, and was able to snipe that natural nexus. And from there, he was just able to continuously macro out his opponent. So we're gonna have to go to game 2, and see you guys there.